And now, away from election matters, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and its Trade Union Congress, TUC, begins an indefinite strike today. The Labour Association to commence an indefinite strike came despite an injunction by the National Industrial Court in Abuja restraining NLC and TUC alongside their affiliates from embarking on any industrial action. The strike is to protest the battering of the NLC President Joe Ajaero and others in Owerri, Imo State on the 1st of November, as well as the pending labor issues in the state. They had on November 7th resolved to declare a nationwide strike by Tuesday, November 14th, if their demands were not met. Beside the brutalization of the NLC President, other labor leaders, journalists, and other grievances of organized labor include outstanding salary arrears, unjust declaration of 11,000 workers as ghost employees, unsettled gratuities, non-compliance of 30,000 Minimum Wage Act, and declaration of 10,000 pensioners as ghost retirees. And to talk about this further, I'm being joined by the Nigeria Labour Congress Public Relations Officer for the Lagos State Chapter, Comrade Adejumo Ismail. Glad to have you join me, Mr. Ismail.
Good afternoon for having me. It's my pleasure being on News Central this afternoon.
You're welcome. Now, straight to our conversation. In concrete terms, what are the demands of labor?
Thank you very much, as you have rightly highlighted in your opening remark. The demands are very, very clear and very succinct. We are demanding for the immediate arrest and prosecution of all the thugs that was sponsored by the government of Imo State to brutalize our Congress president, and demand for their immediate prosecution. This will serve as a deterrent for any other governor or any government of any state that might want to toe the same line to desecrate and ridicule the Congress president of NLC. Even the days of the military, we've never had this bad for a whole Congress president in whatever manner or whatever circumstances to be brutalized in such manner. And we felt it's not only the person of Comrade Joe Ajaero that was disgraced and ridiculed, but the whole Congress of NLC, collective will of Nigerian workers, has been relegated. And it's for the first time, both NLC and TUC are unanimous to demand that the government of Imo State must give a public apology. The governor has apologized for all other demands that has to do with workers' interest. You have talked about non-payment of the standard minimum wage, pensioners who are still being owed, the issue of salary being paid on concession on considerate ground, not giving what is due to them as their entitlement. So, among many other demands, why NLC giving the government a 1 week notice to wait in to address all these issues before we embark on this indefinite strike.
Okay, if I may ask, Comrade Adejumo, if I may come in there, what do you think is the level of compliance to this strike action?
As you can observe around your station there, anywhere you are, as I am here now, I'm inside the bus where I'm part of the monitoring team for the Lagos State to ensure that all our affiliates, both NLC and TUC, are complying. And so far, so good. There is substantial compliance level from where we have visited so far. If you get to the port authority today now, they have been fully grounded. No activities in the port. In the secretariat, in most of the government offices, they are complying. And we are still on the road to monitor compliance because the notice to this strike action came in late. So some of our affiliates were complaining that they have not really got the notice as expected. So therefore, by tomorrow, all things being equal, we will have a good response from all the affiliates.
I hear you, Comrade Adejumo. We understand that ASU is joining on with this strike. I'm wondering, is this a voluntary act, or Labour perhaps invited or perhaps also persuaded ASU to join with this strike?
ASU, as you know, we are always, they are an integral part of the labor movement, despite they are not fully under the NLC or the TUC. If you could remember when there was the issue of issue with the ASU, there was a kind of solidarity protest by the NLC and TUC with the ASU. And in labor circle, we said injury to one is injury to all. What has happened to our Congress president today, globally, it has been felt as a kind of an attempt to desecrate the office of the Congress president. And it's an indication that if this is not, stepped down, if it is not addressed holistically, all the labor leaders will be highly vulnerable by all these undemocratic elements in some of our government houses.
If I may
descend on our leadership and begin to brutalize them. So ASU is in unison, in solidarity, thus to ensure that there is a solidarity with our national president.
If I may just,
other unions.
If I may just add, Comrade, I hate to be, I don't mean to sound pessimistic, but what if the federal government refused to budge? They have said the visit of the NLC president to Imo State is against court order. So what would be the next line of step for Labour?
Thank you very much. Even as we speak, negotiation is ongoing. Discussion, we are open to discussion. Our terms are very clear. In as much that can substantially comply with our demands, we are ready to go with it. We are not unreasonable people. The leadership of NLC and TUC are the heavily professional personality who are the ends of affairs. They weigh options before they take decision, and the decision they have taken, they are ready to ensure that all affiliates comply with it. Either the government are ready to do the needful, or they want to be adamant. We are resolute. In labor solidarity, we stand always. And workers, we are the one that create the wealth of the nation. If government can't also important, at least they will use to our demand. And that is why we are using this last instrument of ours, which is the strike action, to press on our demand, to demand for justice, fair play, and equity for our labor leaders that are brutalized.
And I must sincerely thank you for your time on the news, Comrade Adejumo Ismail, NLC Public Relations Officer to the Lagos State Chapter. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. God bless Central Lagos.